Welcome, welcome. Hi, guys. Yay, I'm so excited you guys are with me today. I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to try and keep these webinars to 30 minutes so you guys can get back to your day and learn all of the things very quickly from me. So I am going to share my screen in 1 second when I figure out how to do that. Y'all, if you ever with me, you'll know it takes me a hot minute to share. I always lose my buttons. Okay, I'm on screen 2. So share. All right. Okay.
Yes.
Yay.
No, sorry.
Okay, so you guys should see my screen. Let me know if you don't for any reason, but you should be able to see it. Okay. All right, and then I'm just going to make sure I've got my chat open. So if you have questions while we're going, please feel free to drop them into the chat and I will answer them. We're going to talk about 3 strategies to streamline your social media going into 2025. So one of the things that a lot of people come to me with, especially right now, is how can I simplify my social media and really do it, but not be overwhelmed and take so much time to get it done because we are busy. So, one of the things that I want to make sure you guys know are some strategies and tips and tools that you can use going into 2025, even use them right now to really start streamlining your social media so that you are showing up online. So tell me in the chat, drop in the chat for me, what is your number one struggle when it comes to social media in general? Is it content? Is it AI? Is it coming up with captions, doing the graphics? Are you nervous to be on video? Is it time, right? What is the hold up when you are trying to do social media? Tell me in the chat. I'd love to know. All of the above, everything I just mentioned. All of the above. I get it. Time is a huge one. Time is one that I hear very, very often from LOs because you guys are making your calls, right? You're doing all the things on the daily. And so having the time to do social media is a struggle. And I get it. I fall right in line with you guys because it is a time sucker. Okay, and engagement, awesome. All right, so for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Chelsea Gardner. I own a done-for-you social media marketing and advertising agency, C. Gardner Marketing, very original, right? I think it's probably 12 years now. I probably need to update this slide. Background in marketing. So my undergrad and my master's are both in marketing. It's something that I just absolutely love and geek out over is marketing and understanding how people think and respond to various things inside of the marketing world. And I just really kind of dug into social media marketing over the past 8 years. I have helped write a book, the AI Prompt Handbook. So I do pride myself in knowing a lot when it comes to ChatGPT, not necessarily all of the AI tools. I am the founder of the Aiden Jared Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that my husband and I founded for special needs families here locally. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, a boy mom, and I absolutely love boba tea, iced coffee, Chick-fil-A, all of the things. And my superpower, for those of you guys who know me or have sat in on a webinar, my superpower is really simplifying social media for you and really helping you through the step-by-step tools and tutorials to understand how to do things. So if you want to give me a follow, I am on any social media platform at the Chelsea Gardner. You can also scan that QR code and find me on Instagram. So I'd love to know just yes or no if you guys have ever sat through one of my webinars or anything like that that I have put on. I'd love to know if you guys have been here before. I feel like I get a lot of repeats because I hope I deliver a lot of value for you guys. All right. Yay. Well, welcome back, everybody. Welcome, Margot. Herman, hello. Welcome. Okay. So for today, our agenda is really going to go through how to plan, right? So the power of planning our content, monthly content calendars, automation tools, how we can generate ideas. So get your pen and paper ready because you're going to want to know some of these tips and tools on how to generate ideas through ChatGPT, as well as some websites that I'm going to give you that help with content, and a little few tips and tools on how you can make graphic creation a little bit easier. So because of the end of the year approaching, we really want to kick off 2025 really strong. So make sure if you have questions, like I said during the presentation, just drop them into the chat and I will answer them. And make sure to stay until the very end. I am launching my Black Friday bonuses just to you guys first before they launch to anyone else because they are limited spots. Margot, yes, I did. I should be recording. I am. You'll get the recording after later tonight or first thing tomorrow. I'm glad you said that because a lot of times I forget to record and I don't have my sticky notes all over my computer to remind me. Okay, so let's dive into the monthly content calendar. So one thing I want you guys to think about when you are building a social media strategy, and I know this part right here, the planning is going to take the most amount of time for you. And so this will be a little bit of a time suck, but it is going to propel you way faster forward way faster than not planning ahead. Okay, so I want you to think about that. It's going to take time, but it's going to save you time in the long run. So monthly content calendar. Here are some ideas and ways that I use a monthly content calendar, whether it be for myself, for my clients, or anything in general that I have done in the past. So a few things, if you look, you can easily create content calendars in a Google spreadsheet, in a Google Doc, right? You can easily just write out January 1, this is what I want to post. January 2, I actually just got off of a call with a client for our coaching, and she had all of her posts laid out in a Google Doc where she put the date that she's posting, the caption, and the graphic she uploaded right into a Google Doc. So that is easy. You can easily just kind of create that for you. You also can do a Canva calendar. So you'll see over here, this is something that I launch inside of my hub for my clients, is a content calendar. So you can come in here and sit down, right? Sit down today and lay out your December content calendar. Start with the days, the holidays that you want to promote or talk about or share, right? You've got Thanksgiving coming up, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday, you've got, Christmas, Hanukkah, all the things are coming up. So write out those dates on your calendar first, and then fill in the rest with some content ideas. And I'm going to share with you how to find those. You can also pull out your notes app on your phone, right? This is a screenshot of my notes app. I go in, and when I'm driving, or I stop first, but if I'm driving at a red light, I'm like, oh gosh, it would be great to do a fun, point of view for this, or 5 pictures you should take as a loan officer, right? The social media content that I want to create, I throw into my phone on the notes app. And so when I am ready to sit down to plan out my month, right? I have all of these post ideas. That's like 5 right there. I have, Friday Funnies, that would be like every Friday. So I have a ton of content ideas already just kind of going. And I've woken up, y'all, at like 2 a.m. and wrote something down, right? So the Notes app is a great tool to use when you are on the go. And then there also are some project management tools. So this is going to be a little bit more advanced. It might not be something that you want to incorporate right now into your business, but if you have a marketer that helps you, or even maybe a VA that helps you with social media, this is what I use for all of my clients. I use a project management tool. It's called Asana. There's Trello, there's ClickUp, there's a ton, there's Monday.com, but this will allow you to it'll allow you to plan out your content. So you can see I have these boards, right? September, October, November, and then the date that I'm posting each of those and the graphic that goes with it. And if I were to click, which I can't, but if I were to click inside of this, it opens up with the caption. So I can easily say, okay, this is what's going out on November 1st, November 2nd, November 3rd, right? And so those project management tools are so simple. I know Asana has a free option. I don't know what all you get with it, but that is a great tool. Like I said, especially if you have other people helping you manage your socials, this is a great way to see everything that they're putting together for you. Or if you're doing it yourself, this is my own board. I lay it out for myself too. Like I need a content calendar as well. So definitely preparing with content calendars is what you want to do. The next step to planning is having a reliable scheduling tool. So if once you have your plan down, once you have your content, right, then we want to schedule our content, because who has the time? Like, and if you do, by all means, tell me, but who has the time to go in and post content every day or 3 times a week or 4 times a week? Or what happens if you're on vacation or something comes up and you know, are dealing with a client closing, or, you know, you're having stuff catch on fire, right? And today was the day you were supposed to post, right? You're posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every week, every day of the week or whatever. And you're like, oh, I didn't get to it today because I put out a dumpster fire. So having those tools in place just really helps you streamline your social media strategy to not have those hiccups, right? You can go the week and be like, oh, I haven't had to do anything, right? Other than do the engagement, but I haven't had to go in and schedule. I haven't had to go in and make sure that, you know, on Wednesday at noon, I'm posting my content. So having those scheduling tools, and a few of the ones that you can easily use. How many of you guys have Canva? Tell me in the chat if you have Canva, or if you have a company that has some companies have scheduling tools too for you. Don't know how to use it. Yep, totally cool. So if you're on the paid version of Canva, you can schedule through Canva. Okay. A lot of, like I said, a lot of companies also have scheduler tools. You always just want to make sure that whatever you are using is Meta verified. You might have to ask the customer service to make sure, but you always want to make sure that they are Meta verified. They're not just some random third-party scheduler that popped up yesterday for you to pay and schedule through, and they are not approved through Meta. Okay. So you can use Canva. You can use a third-party tool. I use Metricool for scheduling. You can use Meta Business Suite. That is free, and it does Facebook and Instagram. If you are trying to schedule multiple posts across multiple platforms, right? So let's say you want to post not just on Facebook and Instagram, but like if you look at this here, you'll see Google My Business, LinkedIn, a Pinterest board. So this is inside of Metricool. I can schedule across all of these with literally a click of a button. So all I do is just turn each of them on. I upload that content that I've already created, that graphic I've already created, and I schedule it out for the week or however long, for the month, whatever that looks like. That's what we do inside of that scheduling tool. Meta Business Suite, you can kind of do the same thing, but it's only for Facebook and Instagram because Meta only owns Facebook and Instagram. But it would look something like this. So if you go to business.facebook.com, and I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys, business.facebook.com. I told you to make sure you have a pen and paper. Business.facebook.com. That will take you to your Meta Business Suite. If it does not, you need to follow the prompts to create an account. This will allow you to schedule your content on Facebook and Instagram. So once you get in there, you would click on your planner, and it will open up a calendar. And inside of that calendar, you'll choose the date that you want to post. This will pop up. You'll choose the date and time that you want it to go out. You'll save it, and then you'll upload your photo or your video. You'll add your text, and then you'll click on schedule down here at the bottom. It is very easy and user-friendly to use most any scheduling tools that I have come across. There's a few that I have not found as user-friendly, but most of them are pretty user-friendly in the sense of understanding how to turn on and off content and how to schedule. So this is where you can go for free to use Meta Business Suite. Obviously, it's verified since it's through Meta, and it is a completely free tool. So highly encourage you, whatever it looks like for you guys, right? So if you're like, hey, I can post consistently 3 times a week, then I want you to go back and plan for 3 times a week. And then I want you to schedule your content for 3 times a week. And what happens if you're like, oh, rates, well, not right now, but rates just dropped today, right? I want to post that and I want to share about that, because that's not something that we're going to be able to schedule, you know, next month. We don't know what they look like on December 15th. So right now, I want to post that. Well, we've already got content scheduled. So this post would just be a bonus post. You don't need to go back in and reschedule your content or anything like that. This would just be a bonus post. And this week you're posting 4 times per week instead of 3, but everything else is already scheduled and ready to go. And then when you have those major updates or news information or market stats that you want to throw in, those are kind of like the icing on the cake, those pieces of content that you can't predict a month out. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I can't see most of you, but if it does, give me a thumbs up. All right, so now let's talk about generating content. So this is where a lot of people struggle, is the content ideas. If you are in my free loan officer social media group, I ask one of the questions coming in is, what do you struggle with the most? And I think out of like the 150, 140 said content. So this is the biggest thing that most people struggle with, is coming up with the content ideas. And so I want to share with you a couple of ways that you can start using various content tools to help streamline your content. And then I got a question real quick. What are the best days and times to post? So this is actually kind of an old school concept. So, you used to hear marketers always say, oh, make sure you're checking your insights for the best days and times to post. Honestly, that is a pretty old concept. Anymore, I do not see across all of my client accounts a difference in days and times. Now, I will say that, you may see maybe on the weekend, it's not as great. Maybe on a Monday, it's not as great. It really also depends on you, your followers, and your content. So it's something you kind of want to play with, right? Because I actually get a ton of engagement on a Saturday afternoon. But on a Sunday, I don't. You may be the opposite. So it's definitely something you want to trial and error when you're doing your content, but don't get hung up on that aspect of it. Posted is better than not at all. Okay. All right. So let's talk about content. So Answer the Public. This is a website, answerthepublic.com. Pen, paper, answerthepublic.com. This is a free site that you can go to, and you can type in a search term a day. You can also join their site and get 3 searches per day for free. If you register, you don't have to pay, but then you get a whole lot more if you do pay. I don't pay, I use the free version. But answerthepublic.com. You can come in and do a key term. So I just came in and keyed in home loans. I actually did this morning, so it would be a very recent search. So I just typed in home loans and then I hit enter, and it gives me, in this scenario, it gave me 56 different questions that are currently within the past, I think it's 30 or 60 days, are being asked inside of search engines like Google and Yelp and things like that. So you will see different questions, right? Home loans for first-time buyers, home loans for low income, home loans for nursing, home loans for bad credit. So these are great ways, if you term, right? USDA loans, VA loans, you can actually download these graphic or download these keyword search terms and save them into a file on your desktop. So that way you're not obviously having to go in every single day and search home loans. You can go in today, search home loans, tomorrow, search USDA loans, next day, VA, and have a bank of questions, and then maybe do that every quarter, every year, and just have, again, this is 56 questions. So you can come in here like, okay, people are searching for, home loans for low credit scores. What kind of content could I put out there for my ideal audience that would help them understand what home loans are available for low credit scores? Or what can they do if they have a low credit score? Or how can I help them if they have it? There's a ton of content right from that sentence, home loans for low credit scores, right? So you can look at that and be like, oh, okay, they need to do X, Y, and Z. We're going into the new year. Here's how you can start getting a better credit score or whatever. Home loans for veterans. Okay, let's talk about VA loans. Let's talk about all the different things that you can do with VA loans. Let's talk about, all of that stuff. You can start building out content. Now, I want you to keep in mind something though, okay? How many of you, yes or no in the comments, know who your ideal client is online? Who is your target audience, your target market on social media? Do you know who they are? Okay. Perfect. I'm glad some of you guys said no. Okay, so one thing, and this kind of goes back a few, because you can't exactly plan content. You can't exactly create content. You can schedule content, but you can't exactly plan or create until you know your target audience. Okay. That is a huge thing. What I want you to do over the next week or two is really sit down, talk to ChatGPT if you need to and nail down your target audience. You really need to know who your target audience is in order to create this content, right? Because again, if I were to go in here and say home loans for low credit scores, okay, that can go in a ton of different directions, right? In terms of content. And if I'm putting out content for, I don't know, a first-time home buyer, but I'm trying to attract realtors, that's not going to hit the same, right? So you got to remember that on the other side of the screen of that phone or computer is only one person. So you want to make sure that you are targeting and talking to that one person, their pain points, their struggles, all of that, right? I do marketing. I am a marketer for loan officers. I know my target audience and what they struggle with and the difficulties and all of that when it comes to social media. That does not mean, like, most people will be like, oh, that puts you in a box, right? Like, I can only work with loan officers. That's actually not true. I actually just brought on a day spa the other day, right? But all of my content is for loan officers. If you look at my website, it says I'm a marketer for loan officers, but that doesn't stop other people from still using me as a marketer, right? So it's the same concept for you guys. If you narrow yourself into knowing who you're talking to, what your specialty is, right? If you want to be known as the VA home loan king, right, or queen, that is what you want to really nail into. But that doesn't mean that someone that needs a conventional loan is never going to use you, okay? So kind of keep that in mind. So you're going to need to know who your target audience is. Once you have that nailed down, then you can come in here and find these content ideas and really start understanding how you can tailor some of these ideas to that audience, okay? All right, another one, ChatGPT, y'all. And I use ChatGPT, but if you're using a different AI tool, same concept, right? I think there's Bard. I mean, there's thousands of them nowadays. ChatGPT, I believe it was 3 weeks ago, just launched where you can actually search the web. So I don't know if it's just the paid version or not. I've only ever been on the paid version, so I haven't logged into a free version in a long time. So please don't quote me if I'm incorrect, but I think it's probably only paid. But anyways, when you open up your chat function inside of ChatGPT, you now have this search feature. When you click it, it turns blue. That's turning it on. So if I were to type in, like, I'm a loan officer in Tampa, Florida, I service Tampa and the surrounding Tampa Bay area from Dade City to Sarasota. I'd like to know 10 current topics that are relevant for first-time homebuyers to share and talk about on my social media pages. Again, making sure that I'm putting in who my target audience is. It is going to spit back some ideas, right? Always, always, always triple check these concepts. It tells you where it is getting this concept from, right? So it's Better Homes and Gardens, Make Florida Your Home, New York Post. Always double check this information. Like, I don't know if this is accurate or not. So you always want to double check that that is accurate, okay? But this is a great way, understanding the Tampa Bay housing market, right? Navigating rising insurance costs, the importance of home inspections. These are great ideas if they fall within first-time home buyers, okay? Leveraging first-time home buyer programs and assistance. What programs are out there for first-time home buyers in Florida? What assistance can they maybe qualify for? How would they qualify for those? Effective saving strategies for down payments, right? So all of that stuff is relevant to a first-time home buyer. Okay, I struggle with figuring out, should I be attracting realtors because they can refer me many people, or attract individuals who need an LO to buy or refi a home? That is a great question / struggle. It's not a great struggle to have, I get. And that is probably the number one, like, when I ask people, who are you targeting? Everyone's like, home buyers and realtors, right? But again, they are two separate audiences. And that's not to say you need to be honed into one of them, right, Carrie? So let's say you're like, all right, I'm going to go all in with realtors for the next 3 months. Do that. Stay very focused in on that type of content, right? And you can get away with, here's a really cool maneuver that you can kind of do, right? So the importance of home inspections. For example, we're going to use the importance of home inspections. We're going to talk about the importance of home inspections for your clients, right? If you're a real estate agent, this is why your client needs a home inspection. A, B, C, D. Here's what can happen if they don't, X, Y, Z. Make sure to share this with your first-time home buyer, okay? Now, The reason that we still want to say like realtors and all of that is because that's who we're targeting, but that's still really good information for a first-time home buyer. So while we're directly talking to a real estate agent, as a first-time home buyer, I still may come across that, right? It's still saying share it with a first-time home buyer. My caption is still going to talk about the importance of home inspections for first-time home buyers, right? But it's geared towards realtors. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Tell me if it does. In my head, it does. I want to make sure I'm conveying it correctly and it makes sense to you guys. So the reason, like, again, I share all social media stuff typically towards loan officers, but it still helps other businesses because it's still valid information for other people. So that doesn't mean that you won't get or attract those other individuals who are looking to buy, refi, first-time home buyers, but your messaging needs to be targeted to one specific group. Okay, that is what I have found. Now, y'all, there are cases where that, people do extremely well and they're all over the board, right? In most scenarios that I have come across in all of my client accounts and people that I know, that is the best case scenario, is when you can really niche down and understand who your audience is. Okay. There's always going to be those outliers where they're like, well, they share about everything and anything and they're doing really well. There's always going to be those outliers. Okay. So that's how I would start kind of maneuvering some of your content is, okay, I still want to capture first-time home buyers, for example, but I really want to target and talk to a real estate agent. Okay. All right. So hopefully that's helpful. All right. Facebook ad library. So this would be facebook.com/ads/library. I'm going to put it in the chat. Facebook.com/ads/library. Okay. This is a spot. So if anyone is running paid ads, they are open, inside, active, the ad library, no matter who you are, they will always show in the ad library. So you can come in here and do various searches for mortgage broker, loan officer, real estate agent, whatever you want to do searches for inside of the housing category and see who is running ads. And it's not necessarily the who, but you can see what type of ads people are running. Now, this necessarily is not to be like, oh, go run these paid ads, but this kind of gives you an idea for content that people are paying to run, right? So that's kind of where the ad library comes into play. Now, one thing I want you to understand, please never ever come in here and copy and paste anything that anyone does ever, right? That's not cool. Don't ever do that. But if you come in here and you're like, oh, okay, here's a first-time home buyer program. I have a first-time homebuyer program. I didn't realize someone's, paying for ads to run for first-time homebuyer programs. I should probably start talking more about the first-time homebuyer programs that we offer, or that I have, or my state has. So just kind of getting those ideas on what other people are running. Now, you can't see their insights. So I don't know how well their ad is performing, right? I don't know if it's doing really well or it's tanking, but it does kind of give me some content ideas. Other ways that you can find content is if you have a TikTok, you can go into TikTok and just search mortgage loan officer and see kind of what other people are doing. If you're in TikTok and you search for like mortgage broker, loan officer, whatever, and you scroll, usually it's like halfway down, you'll also see a section that says like other people ask or what other people say or something. Those are other things that people are physically keying into TikTok to search for. Those would make great content ideas as well. Okay. You can also go into Google, a simple Google search. You can do Google Search Console, right? That's like your SEO. You can do Google Trends. You can also use a company called SEMrush. These are all kind of up here in this corner. Those are other ways that you can use Google. Or you can just come into Google and start typing in various things. Mortgages, Tampa, USDA loans, Tampa, and type in hyper local specific, right? So you see I have Tampa added. It pops down here with other things that people have, kind of finish the sentence with. But if you scroll a little bit down underneath the paid ad section, you'll see people also ask. And in here are tons of other questions, right? So what is the average mortgage payment in Tampa? The easiest type of mortgage to get approved for. And if I clicked this down arrow, so I actually did it, what is the average mortgage price in Florida? If I click that down arrow, more questions pop up. So these two popped up after I clicked this. So if I just kept clicking on all these down arrows, more and more and more hyperlocal questions will start to populate. Okay, so that's one way to start also coming up with content. It is time consuming to find content. I understand. It's time consuming to come in here. But again, once you have like this, let me go back, this wheel, I want to say real wheel of 56 questions, you can start breaking out this content so much more, right? You can start having a ton of different ideas all inside of this. All right. Is that helpful in terms of content creation, ideas, places to go? Let me know. And then we're going to talk about graphics. Okay, cool. Yeah, good. Okay, I'm glad it was helpful. All right, so tips and tricks with graphics. Now, if you guys have ever sat in one of my Canva workshops, I do a very detailed step-by-step how to use Canva for graphics. This is not a step-by-step, so I'm going to show you a couple of things that I use inside of Canva regularly for myself, for my clients, things like that. So one thing that actually just launched, I have not dived into fully, is the Dream Lab. This is what it looks like here. You can describe an image that you want in a few words. Previously, the AI write to image inside of Canva has been horrible. But this I have seen, and the little bit that I've played with has been better. Okay. Humans and hands and faces still kind of get a little contorted, but if you're kind of going for like houses and things like that, right, you might have better luck. So this is something that you can kind of play with, but don't get your hopes up too high if it starts spitting out awkward stuff. It's still a work in progress. All right. Templates. Templates are a really easy way to stay consistent on social media is by creating templates. You come into your Canva, you would go into your design, search for a key term like mortgage. Real estate has a bunch of really good templates that you could kind of convert to be towards mortgage. You can type in loan officer, home, all that stuff, and you can look at these templates. Now, something that I will tell you going into 2025, templates are great, but you still need to make sure that you are in your content. Okay. And when I say in your content, try and make sure that you're taking more photos of yourself or at a closing or I don't know, at Disney, whatever the case is, and use some of that imagery as maybe your backdrop, right? So instead of this house back here or this kitchen, maybe this is your, I don't know what, I can't even read that, ways to save on your mortgage, right? So maybe you have this as your content, but the image in the background is you sitting at your desk or whatever the case is, right? Be in your content as much as you can be, okay? Bulk create is another tool inside of Canva. I don't have it screenshotted here, but you can bulk create. You can create spreadsheets. That is something that you'll want to, you can ask ChatGPT to walk you through or Google it. But bulk create is going to be something that you can upload a spreadsheet to and easily create multiple graphics. Like if you're like, I want to do a Monday quote of the day or whatever, then you can upload all those quotes and it will create a streamline of graphics for you. Brand kit. That is something I highly encourage if you have Canva to use your brand kit. That is what this is over on this side. You can upload your logos, your equal housing lender, equal housing opportunity logo. You can have your colors, your fonts. You can create brand templates and keep them up in your brand templates. It makes it very streamlined inside of Canva. When I go to use this graphic that says 5 tips and this blue is not in my wheelhouse of colors, I can easily just change the color, okay, into my brand colors. So, and I can easily add my logo onto this graphic or my headshot or change the font, okay? So that makes it so easy and streamlined to do content inside of Canva when you have your brand kit set up. Slides Gen is an AI tool I love. I haven't used it regularly for myself in terms of like slides because I created these slides long ago, like my slide deck a long time ago. But for current clients that do slides and presentations, love this. You can go in, it's an AI tool, you tell it what you're trying to talk about, give it as much information as possible, and it populates a slide deck for you. So if you're doing webinars for real estate agents or anything like that, you can go into Slides Gen. It's an AI app inside of Canva, and it will help populate and put together a whole slide deck presentation for you. And lastly, one of the other tools I use, and all of these are inside of apps, like right here, if you're looking at my screen, they're inside this apps tab. So another tool I use is Google Drive. So what I do is when I take photos or videos on my phone, I upload them into my Google Drive on my phone, and then I can just go into Canva, into the Google Drive app, and it automatically will pull my pictures from my Google Drive into my Canva. So I'm not having to download a graphic and upload it to like put it into Canva, if that's what you're currently kind of doing, or having to like email myself the graphic to then download it to then, upload it into Canva. I just use the app for Google Drive photos and away I go. So that is everything inside of Canva that I recommend, that I use regularly. Obviously, Canva is a powerhouse for graphics and videos and all of that stuff. But these are just some really quick tips and tools that I use for graphics that really kind of streamline stuff. So I'm trying to keep this as brief as possible for you guys. Was this information helpful? I know it's a lot in a very short amount of time, but let me know if it was helpful. If you guys have any specific questions for me around 2025, going into your content ideas, building content, building a strategy, all of that stuff. Okay, I'm so glad it was helpful. Yay. And was the shorter, if you guys have been with me, most of my webinars are an hour. Was the shorter time frame more helpful for you guys? Like, I talk fast. So I feel like in an hour, I talk very fast and a lot. All right, so if you guys are wanting more help on the how-tos and all of that, I have a Black Friday special that's running. It's only for the first 10 individuals. But if you are struggling with time or stuck in a content rut, unsure how to post, like need to learn and know how to do basically social media, right? You're like, I got the content. Now, how do I like post it, or how do I schedule it, or how do I use all of the other tools inside of Canva? I actually am launching the social media success training library. So it's going to be a whole library of various social media topics that then you can use to learn Canva, ChatGPT, right? All of that stuff. So inside of the training library, there's going to be like training 1, training 2. You're going to have access to ChatGPT. Inside of ChatGPT, creating a GPT, right? Prompting inside of Canva, how to upload a brand kit, right? How to create a template, how to, change the font. Inside of Reels, you're going to learn how to do a reel inside of Instagram. Inside of Meta Business Suite, you're going to learn how to schedule, how to read your insights, all of that stuff. And they're going to be broken down into small bite-sized trainings, so that if you're like, Charles, I just need to get this post scheduled and go, you can log in, go into that training and get it and get out. You don't have to go through a full course, if that makes sense. It's lifetime access. All future updates, we know how quickly social media changes. So this will give you all future updates that I make or release any additional trainings. Again, bite-sized, short modules. They're going to be anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes or less. Step-by-step mini workshops. You can learn at your own pace, pick what you need, when you need it, saves you time. So if it's something that you're interested in, I'm doing a Black Friday bonus for it. The first 10 only. So the training library is open for anyone, but the first 10 to purchase for Black Friday will also get a 365-day content calendar specific to loan officers. So you will get January through December, every single day of a content calendar sent to you. And then 1 month of access to my social hub. The social hub is a monthly membership that I have that does emails, weekly content ideas, a graphic, and captions. And I do a weekly, actually a live Q&A call. So 1:30 is my live Q&A call for the hub members. And so this will help you in your training library to have additional support inside of that hub. So you'll get 1 month of access to that, and you'll get access to the content calendar right off the bat. The training library opens on January 6th. So you will not have access to the training library until January 6th, but I wanted to launch my Black Friday specials for the library. So if you are interested, it is a flat fee of $249 for access to the library, and you will get full access to it on January 6th, along with January will be the month that you'll have access to the hub, and you'll get access to all of the content calendars. So if you're interested, that is the QR code. You can scan it. Oh, Michael, one-on-one. Yes, I do one-on-one coaching as well. I do 8-week programs for one-on-one coaching. You can definitely sign up for that as well. If you go to Chelsea at chelseagardner.com and then my contact page, just reach out to me, or you can email me at misschelseagardner.com or misschelseagardner@gmail.com. I'll put that in the chat. Okay. And then can we access? No, so you won't be able to access the training until January 6th. So this will be launched January 6th, but the Black Friday specials will be coming with anyone who does the first 10. So, all right, what questions do you guys have for me that I can help with? Any questions around the training library or the hub or any of my other services that I offer that I can help answer for you guys? It's very quiet today. You're welcome, Michael. All right. All right. Well, if there is nothing else that you guys need from me, that is all that I have for you. So you are free to go unless you have more questions that I can help answer. Okay. Is it true that Insta doesn't allow carousel posts for business? I've never heard that. I use carousel posts very, very consistently. On all of my client accounts. So I've never ran into that issue before. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that would come from. But no, carousel posts are actually one of the things that Instagram has been pushing more in 2024, towards the end of 2024. They're trying to start to even out content a little bit better than like, oh, it's all video, video, video. It's just that a lot of people still strongly push towards watching video content, but carousels actually are performing extremely well. So I highly encourage to incorporate carousels into your content. Only my first slide post, and I read it somewhere during, interesting. Yeah, I've never had that issue on any of my client business accounts. I'd be curious, where are you posting it? Are you posting it directly inside? Like, are you in Instagram and like picking the images on your phone? I would be curious. Usually Canva. Okay, that's interesting. No, you should be able to. Now, if you're, maybe it's, I'll have to look at that. If you send me like a screenshot, if you email me like a screenshot, I'd like to take a look at it just because I'm curious, because I've never ran into that issue for any of my business accounts. So I'm curious to see what could be striking that. And maybe we can figure that out. So if you email me at misschelseagardner@gmail.com, a screenshot of your account and then where you're scheduling it, I'm curious to know. Okay. How do I create a video with words and make it interesting and exciting? Yeah, so creating video content, truly all you need, Herman, is your phone. You don't need anything fancy, or like you don't need to go get cameras, or I mean, you can get a microphone. I don't even have a microphone. I never use mine. I don't even know where it's at, but I have one that I can plug into my phone. It is a little bit better quality in terms of like voice, but I usually just use my phone. I have a tripod or like this here too, I even will use, and just record. And then as far as adding words and things, there's apps for that, or you can also do it inside of Instagram. Yep. And I go over in terms of creating the videos inside of Instagram. I do that inside of the training library too. So if you wanted like a step-by-step how-to, either how to create them inside of Instagram or in Canva, that will be inside of the training library. But honestly, you don't need anything more than your phone. And then as far as make it interesting and exciting, that's going to be, you got to make sure that, again, you're speaking to your target audience, you know who you're talking to. And The hook is the most important thing on a video. So that very first few sentences, or sentences, not even sentences, first few words is key for bringing people in and drawing them in, right? You don't want to say, "Hi, I'm Chelsea," no, that people are just going to scroll right by, right? You want to make sure that you have a very strong hook that's going to grab someone's attention right off the bat. And you can find hooks in like ChatGPT, or just like even looking at other people's content that maybe stops your scroll as you're going through social media, and see if there's like a trend that kind of pops out at you. But it is also kind of a trial and error. So that'd be my tips for that. All right. Awesome. All right, guys. Anything else for me? Are you guys all set? All right. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I am hoping to have another webinar in December. So if there's certain topics that you'd like to see, let me know. But until next time, friends, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. So we'll chat then.